What it is, what it do, it's your boy the good son. Hope you're doing great, hope you're doing fantastic. First and foremost, shout out to you, notification gang, subscription gang. Thank you for all the love and support. Much appreciated. Special shout out to our sponsor, Salt and Light, for holding us down. Now I know it's been a while, it's been a minute since I checked in. But I mean, it's been a global pandemic, man. It's been tough on all of us. It's been particularly tough on the family and I, because we lost a lot of close relatives in the midst of the pandemic and unemployment and financial instability and all of that. So it's been tough, man. It's really been tough. So I really hope and wish and pray that you and your loved ones, the people that you care about, are okay, or at least on the path of getting better, man. And we're all hoping that things do get better. But I just got reminded recently, that I started this channel for myself because I felt like we already have a lot of content, especially on this platform that's created by celebrities, giving us their regular lives and just sharing whatever they're sharing. But I really wanted to create this channel just for regular people, man, because sometimes I feel like we look up to people who are in maybe higher positions than we are and places that we aspire to be. And we forget that we can also learn from one another, just regular people and having regular conversations. There's so much to learn from that and so much to grow from that as well, because all of those things are relevant and we can really help each other. So I really started this channel just for that conversation between regular people, because no matter which level you think you are and whichever level you want to go to, you're still somebody's idol, you're still somebody's role model. Like I always say, you'll be amazed to see how many people are jealous at your regular life. I for one was pleasantly surprised, when a couple of people in my earlier years were like, yo, bro, I like how you're moving and all of those things. I was like, me? Like, y'all see me? Me? So I was pleasantly surprised. So people are always watching. So I just feel like as regular people, we just need to have more conversations with one another and pick one another up, not wait for some person with a big with the big reputation or popular status to say something in order for us to believe. Let's have the conversation amongst us, man. And one thing I just want to start off by saying is that this pandemic has forced a lot of us into exile, and forced a lot of us to really look at ourselves either mentally, emotionally, spiritually, take care of ourselves in different ways that we wouldn't normally have. Personally, for me, I've kind of been on that journey even before the pandemic. But something amazing happened just before the pandemic hit. My mom, but it was like after work, one of the days after work, she came through and she was quite emotional, and she just sat down with me and she shared that she felt like me and her were not connecting like we used to, and she suggested that I see a therapist, and I was just like, that's a lot. As a man, especially as a black man, that's kind of seen as weakness. You know what I'm saying? And I was thinking, man, am I depressed? Do I look depressed? Do I look suicidal? Like what's up? And I won't lie, I was quite offended, when she initially suggested it. But I quickly remember that she's got my back. Shout out to moms, man. She only wants the best for me. So I later on was able to honor that appointment, and that kind of changed so much in my life. And I just want to start by saying, like, as a man, especially like I said, as a black man, when you think of therapy, or when you think of like psychiatrists and psychologists and all the mental health experts, we feel like we only need to see those people when we are depressed, or because we are going crazy, or because our lives are a mess, or something has gone wrong. That's the only time we need to go see those people, and it's like the last measure. But in reality, that's far from the truth, because at the end of the day, those experts are just that. They're experts. They're experts at a particular thing, which is in the mental health capacity. So they're not only there just for when things are bad. You can go see them just to find out how you can make your life even better. Because at the end of the day, like, I was pleasantly surprised, because when I was going through the session with my therapist, like, she she really highlighted to me that it's not just about how you're feeling or just about your life being negative, but also because some of us, at a young age, especially, and especially as men, there's so many expectations, so much ambition that we have, and so many things that we have to do that sometimes you just need to sit down with somebody who can clearly map out your life so that you can be able to all fit it in your head. You know what I'm saying? Like even that is mental health on its own. It doesn't necessarily mean it's an emotional thing where you go and you cry and all of that. It just means you're gonna just go in there to check up on your health and make sure everything is stable and going smoothly. And you're really preparing yourself for success by doing something like that. It's the same thing that when you go for a medical checkup. Find out from your doctor, do I have enough protein? Do I have enough iron? What do I need to eat? It's the same thing when you go see the mental health experts. So I was really pleasantly surprised when I went for my session, and I remember going there. I wasn't necessarily nervous, but I really wanted to get it out the way because I'm a person that doesn't like being judged. Actually, no, not that I don't like being judged, but I'm a person that really I like being liked. Let me put it like that. So I didn't want to be judged in any way. So I rocked up at the appointment. Awesome lady. And I remember she asked me to introduce myself, and I shared about myself for a couple of minutes. I was telling her, my strengths and my weaknesses, my fears and stuff like that, just to show her that I got this. You know what I'm saying? I don't need your assistance, lady. I know myself, okay? And I remember she was just looking at me with an uninterested face, like, okay. She wasn't even taking down notes. I'm just like, yo, can you see that I got this? And she was just like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm just like, what are we doing? And then she just asked me a simple question after that. She just asked me, why did you feel like you needed to tell me all of that about yourself? And I was like, isn't that what we're here for? And from then on, just began just to blow my mind. And one thing I really, really saw through that session that I really appreciate about mental health experts is that they are able to ask you direct questions and very simple questions as well. Like these are questions that you've never heard before, whatever the case may be, something like you've never thought of. But because of maybe the expertise or whatever, they're able to ask questions to the simplest form that can really unlock your mental and emotional where you are, your state, your mental emotional state. Because she just asked me a couple of questions that I really started to stumble on. And I was like, man, this is me. I've got my own channel. I write poetry. I do speeches, man. I know who I am. And she just really broke me down, which was really, really amazing. And I really, really appreciated that because all those tools that she gave me after the session really helped me unpack and get to learn more about myself. And unfortunately, because of the pandemic, I could only go to that one session. But I'll be seeing her soon. Don't worry, I'll be seeing her soon. But even though throughout that session, we still keep in contact here and there. But I learned so much, man, and I'll be dropping more content, through the upcoming videos that I'm gonna be have other conversations we're gonna be having together. So stay tuned, press that subscribe button, and all those good things. So yeah, I think one of the big things that I got out of the session on day one. This is not something I really got in the session, but just through the questions and through me just getting to learn myself a bit more, I saw a lot of things. As a man, as a black man, a lot of things came to the forefront. My emotions, my fears, my invulnerability, and the things that I've been indoctrinated with. All those things, I was able to see them in the forefront after that session, especially through a period of just being alone and really going through everything that we had spoken about in detail by myself. And one of the things I realized was just about me, my personality, being a good person. You know what I'm saying? Good, but yeah, being who I am, being the good person that I am. I always thought I was just awesome naturally. You know what I'm saying? I was just I was born like this. You know what I'm saying? I was just born awesome, funny, intellectual, entertaining guy. Social. Great smile, handsome. All that. And I just thought that was who I was, and because I've got awesome parents and siblings and all of that, so I just thought, that's kind of how I became me. But, after that session and after breaking a couple of things down about myself, I actually realized that something that was quite deep that I didn't realize about myself is that um, I'm really an awesome person because of my loneliness. It was a hard pill to swallow, but that was the kind of the truth that it came down to. Because as a kid, I moved around. At home we moved around quite. We moved around, and then there was this big move. I moved to another province, language barrier, cultural barriers, all of that. And my mom was working night shift and all of these things. So I was quite lonely as a kid, like very, very lonely. And that loneliness, it really stuck with me. And I think like mentally, psychologically, like my way of combating that loneliness was me creating friendships. That was kind of like my way of surviving that or escaping that loneliness was creating friendships. And that kind of made me into this person like everybody knows, when I rock up in a room, everyone's gonna smile, everyone's gonna laugh, it's gonna be good vibes, the atmosphere is gonna change. And I just became that person. And I just thought, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, and there isn't anything wrong with that. But it was important for me to realize where that comes from, because I've suffered because of that personality. I've had heartbreaks because of that personality. Because when you are that person, because I am that person, I should rather say, I always found myself when I enter new rooms or meeting people I've never met before, I would quickly try win them over, quickly try create and form friendships, in new spaces and in new situations, and sometimes it didn't work out. And when it didn't work out, I'd feel like so nervous. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'd go into a room or I'd go to an event and I wouldn't feel welcome, I'd feel like so like rejected, and I'd feel so alone and so fearful that I would even go to the point where I try exit that event or exit that situation as quickly as possible. And all those things were done because of my fear of being lonely. I'd rather escape that whole situation than experience loneliness. Because of that personality as well, I was I was meeting a lot of people. I was friends with a lot of people, but I was also putting a lot of people in positions in my life that they didn't deserve or that they didn't earn. So I was putting people in a pedestal that they didn't deserve to be on because I was just giving them so much good energy. And I felt like, man, this person, yeah, they're my boy. This person, yeah, we homies, we straight, we friends. But that wasn't necessarily the case. That was just me kind of giving them my energy and kind of pushing them towards me. And no matter what you do, at the end of the day, if someone is not your type, somebody's not your type. If you and this person are just meant to be acquaintances and you guys don't have that much in common, then it's okay. It's cool. You don't have to force it. You know what I'm saying? But because of my personality and because of my invulnerability, I was kind of pushing a lot of relationships that necessarily weren't good for me or necessarily weren't right for me or with people that I wasn't compatible with. But because I was in an environment with those people, I kind of forced myself to be friends with these people, and I'd find myself like in parties that I really didn't have any business being in. I found myself in events that I didn't have any business being in. I find myself signing up to do things that I really have no interest in, all in the name of maintaining that friendship group and escaping my biggest fear, which is loneliness. And because of that, like I said, I experienced a lot of heartbreak because when I view somebody as a friend and they view me as this cool guy, but just a cool acquaintance, and I'm going through something and they're not there for me, I took that personally because I felt like, man, I'm always there for you and you're not there for me. And I would take it personally and that would hurt me. And I'll be like dying silently, like continuously throughout all my various messed up friendships all over the place because I was escaping something that I didn't know. I was defending myself against an enemy that I didn't know, which was my loneliness, you know. And I think just going through that and really looking at my life, and I'm just like, yeah, I've really invested myself and sacrificed as well for a lot of people that, not because they're bad people, but just because we're not compatible. I really sacrificed myself for people that weren't really for me, and that's okay because not everybody is for you. You know, it's good to be good to everyone, but it's not necessarily the case with that you and that person are gonna be compatible. You know, it happens. You know, so I've suffered a lot, man, in friendships because of that, and now, you know, just through this period of realizing that, oh man, actually it's not their fault. You know what I'm saying? It's my fault for putting them in a position that they didn't earn and that they didn't deserve to be in. And I should really cut them some slack because they're just doing them. You know, they're doing what they like and what they love. And if I'm not their love and I'm not their like, then that should be okay. But because I needed them to love me and I needed them to like me, I was giving people so much of my energy. And that resulted in me feeling emotionally drained, mentally drained, and feeling even more lonely in other ways as well. You know, I mean, there were times where I'd wake up in the morning and I'd be texting like 30 people, 20 people, yo, homie, hope you're well, hope you're great, hope you have a good day, you know, and all in the name of hoping that someone is thinking about me in that way as well. But I think now through the process I've been going through it, I've found power in my loneliness. I found power in my vulnerability, sorry. And now I know where I need to give the energy to, which is myself. Like I need to give all the energy I was giving to other people, I need to give it to myself first. And then be stable with that. Know who I am, understand who I am, understand that whether I'm alone, whether I'm understood or misunderstood, I understand myself and I'm good within myself. Like once I'm complete in that area, then I can go out and make, you know, all the friendships and friends that I want to have. Because with that power, when you have that power within yourself, you can say no to something and not feel like you're a loser. You can say yes to something because you really want to say yes to it. You know what I'm saying? You won't force yourself to say yes to something because of peer pressure or because you think it's going to end up in a negative way for you or whatever the case may be. You can just genuinely do things that you love and things that you're comfortable with only after you're comfortable with yourself. So that was like something I'm still getting through and I'm going through, but I was so grateful for that first therapy session that allowed me to really take out all those things that were inside and really put them on the table and really go deeper within myself, you know. And like I shared, there's going to be more content, you know, on all the other aspects that I learned, because that was just one of the things that I have come out through this period of exile, this period of lockdown. And yeah, I just really implore everyone, you know, please, if you can afford to, see a therapist, see a psychologist, man. It's really, it really takes nothing. It's really an act of strength, actually, rather than an act of weakness. So don't take it lightly. Like I shared, there's so many things that we've been indoctrinated with. We've been hearing so many voices that have been similar. It's so good to go somewhere where you'll just get a different voice and different perspective. And that will do so much for you and your growth. And like I said, it's not just an emotional thing, it's a mental thing, it's a spiritual thing. It will help you just be able to navigate your way through life that little bit much more easier and much more beneficial to you as well. So that was me. That was me on my first therapy session. But like I said, there's more content coming. Shout out to you for holding me down as always. Much appreciated.